Following the interview with the other 4 MEC candidates for next year, the BRIC interviewed runners Katyann, Gonzalez, and Chelsea Martin.
Well, I'd like to do a couple things, mostly including more art, more film, more dance, and theater off campus and on in terms of contributors. And I know that's a really talked about thing that I'm sure every candidate brings up, but you know, I have a lot of friends in the music conservatory and a lot of friends who are in bands on campus, and I think it's great that there was a side stage that had them, but I would love to be able to include them, you know, a little later on the main stage, and maybe even incorporate other off-campus bands onto a side stage and have a big artist lounge where purchase students and the musicians who come here to play can sort of mingle, network, and you know, get to speak to each other and be inspired by each other.
I feel like the major events at Purchase are very dear to me. Culture Shock is one of the reasons that pulled me into this school, and you know, it's very important to me that it's good every year and that everyone has a good time and that bands are here that people want to see and that it represents the community here and doesn't really represent a dictating kind of authoritative force that's like saying this is what we're going to give the students. Like, rather than that, I want it to be something that the students are a part of and that the students put together like as a body and as, you know, with one executive person that can kind of work with them and help them.
Definitely the thing that stuck out in my mind the whole time and every year is the distance between the stage and the bands. And I know that that's a really hard thing to overcome, but it's sort of, I had this idea in thinking about going to big shows like at Madison Square Garden or something, how the stage is 6 to 8 feet high. Because ultimately the threat is people coming onto the stage and interfering with the sound and the bands. So if you had the stage much higher, then people might be able to be closer, and I think that that creates a much better environment for listening to music. And another thing is to choose bands that are conducive to playing outside. Like the Books was perfect for being outside. You know, I really loved that. And DJs later. I'm big on DJs and electronic music, and playing that much later. It's got to be at night, and a lot of it has to be inside too. You just have to have like a big sweaty dance party. I always wish people dance more. That's really my main thing. I wish people dance more. I wish people were outside more. It was hard because it was cold this year, but just keeping people there. People are constantly going back to their apartments, constantly changing locations, but just keeping people there, keeping people interested and together. And it was really nice because it was cold. We were all huddling. I don't know, just more involvement, more participation.
I could say that maybe working on a way to have consistent communication throughout the year, not just something that starts off strong and starts off like, you know, really together and with everyone, and then kind of trickles away and becomes like MEC and their close friends deciding what Culture Shock is going to be. Like, I think deciding ways that could really engage the entire campus all the way up to the event is important.
I'm extremely responsible. I'm extremely driven. I want this. I mean, that's not to say that everyone else isn't, but I have a higher purpose for doing this. It's not for myself. It's for Purchase. I want to have an outstanding event so that the school gets publicity and attention from booking agents and bands, so that throughout the year we're getting better shows the following year, and so it gets better the following year. And I have a good business face. I can talk to bands, I can talk to managers, I can talk to cops, I can talk to students. I'm extremely communicative, I guess. I pick up the phone, I answer emails, and I think I want it more than anyone else. And I think my friends want me to have it more than anyone else too, and I think that's the most important thing. So
I think I'm very different. I don't look like a lot of the other people that are running. I'm probably not what a lot of people would expect as their next MEC. And I think that that's a reason that people should want me to be in the position, because I'm going to bring diversity, not just in music, but in all kinds of stimulants. I mean, like, I want it to be a visual experience. I want all aspects of performance to be represented. I personally listen to everything. Like, I have no one genre or couple of genres that I kind of stay in at all times, and I think that because my taste is naturally eclectic, that's going to really open up friendships and open up to just larger audiences here, and I'll be able to talk to a lot of students and see what they want and appreciate what they want, and not just disregard it as something that isn't worth having here.